get your cameras ready as I give you the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team for 2014. It's the Red Arrows! That big B with the jets around 20 feet apart, now climbing at 4G up to 6,000 feet. The aircraft collapsed to around 6 to 8 feet apart as they're taken up into a loop to form short diamonds. Leading the team is Red 1 Squadron Leader Jim Turner. It's his third and final year as the team's leader. He is a former Jaguar pilot, but he's very experienced in the display world. Reds 2 and 3 acknowledge the move to Eagle. They do so with very metronomic cadence in their voices. The idea then is that on 4 in their heads, the pilots extend their air brakes, and on 6 they retract their air brakes to enable all 3 aircraft on each wing to drop back in unison to form Eagle, and then from the right hand side they'll fly the Eagle roll. Started flying in 1965. The aircraft they initially used was the Folland Gnat. That was the advanced jet trainer in the Royal Air Force in that era. But in 1976, the Hawker Siddeley Hawk entered service, and in 1980, the Red Arrows started using the Hawk for its display aircraft, which is the aircraft you see flying today. The Hawk is a very successful British export. It's been sold to over 19 countries across the world, and it continues to impress in its new guise as an advanced jet trainer. Out to the front, the smoke's gone off. Reds 4 and 5 have moved forward. This shape resembles that of the Russian fighter jet, the Su-27. And the NATO code word for the Su-27 is flanker. Now you'll see Reds 8 and 9 move to the outside of the formations, and from Red 8's right wing through to Red 9's left wing, the formation measures 100 metres or 300 feet. To enable the formation to stay as one as they manoeuvre, the outside pilots really have to anticipate their control inputs to make the wing move as one, and they do so by using the cadence in all of Red 1's voice commands. But now in from the left, celebrating 50 display seasons, some very patriotic red, white and blue. A big round of applause please in Phoenix.
Gary, is that yours? Yeah. Oh, it's in there, yeah.
On the leader's right wing is the first of our 2 first-year pilots for 2014. He's Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell. Stu is a former Tucano instructor teaching basic fast jet training. He also displayed the Tucano in 2008. Operationally, Stu flew the Tornado GR4. Out to the right, the smoke goes off as the team have formed our trademark shape, and in true 1960s and 70s style, all 9 jets will now smoke in the diamond roll. Give them another wave, boys and girls. Most of our formations are flown with the odd-numbered pilots on the left-hand side, the even-numbered pilots fly on the right-hand side. And in their 3-year tour with the team, the pilots generally start at the front near the leader, and as their proficiency improves, they move further back. On the leader's left wing now is Red 3. He's the other of our first-year pilots. He's Flight Lieutenant Joe Hurston. Joe is a former Hawk flying instructor. Operationally, he flew the Tornado GR4. In fact, Joe is the only pilot on the team to have instructed on both this version of Hawk, the T Mark 1, and also on the Royal Air Force's new advanced jet trainer, the Hawk T Mark 2. Well, out to the left, the smoke goes off as they formed an iconic shape, and they're going to accelerate now to 400 miles an hour in the shape of Concorde and show you the Concorde Loop. So from 400 miles an hour and 4G at the bottom of the loop, they now climb to about a mile or 6,000 feet above us. They're changing shape again to feathered arrow, and as they reach the apex of the loop, the aircraft have slowed down to about 150 miles an hour. The G's backing off to around 1G as they show you that plant of feathered arrow, which we call Fred. As they can start accelerating down the other side of the loop, the speed builds up to around 400 miles an hour. The G's coming on to 4G as they twist Fred. The end of the first half of the Red Arrow display, ladies and gentlemen, where you've seen all 9 aircraft performing close formation aerobatics. We'll now split down into sections of 2, 3, 4, 5 or 7 aircraft. Reds 1 to 5, 8 to 9, pull up in that wide Phoenix formation. Keep your eyes on Red 6 and 7 with the blue smoke. This is the Palm Split. With his smoke on to the left-hand side is Red 6, leader of the Synchro pair, Flight Lieutenant James McMillan. It's McZee's 3rd and final year as a Red Arrow. He is a former Hawk instructor and Harrier pilot. He actually grew up in New Zealand, but transferred to the Royal Air Force in 2002. On the left, he's chased down by Red 8. Looking right with the smoke on is Red 7. He's chased down by Red 9. Now these 4 aircraft are now closing at 850 miles an hour. Get your cameras ready for the amazing Jippo Pass. The aircraft reach a height of 7,000 feet. They put their red smoke on as they get ready to draw a heart. Now keep your eyes to the top left of the heart to find Red 8, who's going to add his final touch. Red 8, Flight Lieutenant Martin Pert, another 3rd year with the team. He's a former Hawk flying instructor, Hawk display pilot and Harrier pilot. He's drawing a spear, ladies and gentlemen. They're a Synchro pair and Red 8 with their heart and spear. And sitting to their display height of 100 feet, they're going to perform the opposition barrel roll. Red 1 pulls them up at 4G in a 7-ship Vixen formation. Now twisting this loop towards us through 90 degrees in what's known as a quarter clover. Now get your cameras ready. This is the vertical brake. Using 300 160-degree 6G turns. Get ready for the carousel. So pulling 6G narrowly avoiding each other, they're now going to cross at the back. Notice how the pilots swap their smoke colour at each of the 3 crosses using the aircraft's individual colour control buttons on the aircraft's control column. Enid are in a formation known as Leader's Benefit, and they're about to draw a red, white and blue snake-like shape of smoke in the sky as they fly the Python. That Leader's Benefit formation is Red 4. Red 4 is Flight Lieutenant Ollie Parr. He's on his 2nd year with the team. He is a former Tornado GR4 pilot, but he's also spent a tour as a Hawk flying instructor at Royal Air Force Valley on ANNIVERS. This is the Corkscrew. Red 7, they're working hard, flying his jet only 8 feet away from Red 6, but doing it while he's upside down. Tight match rolls to the outside of the formation in the rollbacks. Upside down. The idea now is that Reds 8 and 9 will match their formation underneath. They're coming from the right hand side for the mirror pass. Now boys and girls, give the Synchro pair a big wave as they fly past you upside down. Red 6 gives the command for the formation to widen as they roll out it. Now, this is the twister. Getting very dizzy there with the red smoke is Red 5. He's Flight Lieutenant Steve Morris, a 2nd year pilot with the team. He is a former Hawk flying instructor, and then operationally Steve flew both the Harrier GR9 and the Tornado GR4 before donning his red suit last year. Now look directly to the front, auto brake. Put your hands together for the Synchro pair! The coloured smoke comes on. This is the fix and brake. We are the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows! 330 knots, so just under 400 miles an hour. They'll start with Red 1 all the way through to Red 9. As they pitch up, they'll put about 5 to 5.5 G. The idea being as they roll out downwind on runway 27, the jets will have slowed down to around 200 miles an hour, and then they'll be able to drop their undercarriage, and as they turn finals again, the aircraft will slow down to just about 150 as they come to then touch down over the threshold. If you'd like to find out more about the team, our website is raf.mod.uk/reds. And on Facebook, we're RAF Red Arrows. And on Twitter, we're at RAF Red Arrows. But now, in from the left, I'll put the radio calls on to let you listen in to the big battle break.
Oh, wow.
Red 8, Flight Lieutenant Martin Pert.